Okay, so here's our Oompa Loompa worksheet from yesterday. Hopefully you had a chance to work on it like you were supposed to. So the first couple problems, these all say monohybrid crosses, okay? These were supposed to be like the homework from the night before. Monohybrid means it's one trait, so one letter, and it'll be capital letter and lowercase letters. Okay, so whenever you see monohybrid, that's what that means. So Oompas generally have gray faces, which is caused by a dominant gene. Okay, dominant genes are represented by a big letter or little letter. Big, okay? So we know gray will be big G. The recessive condition results in an orange face. So what would orange face be represented by? Little g, okay? Develop a key to show the possible genotypes and phenotypes for the Oompa's face color. So gray face, there are two things that would code for a gray face. The first one being big G, and the next one being, good job, big G, little g. You guys are already killing it. What would orange face be? Perfect. So for all of these problems, you guys need to show your work, okay? You need to show your work. If you're not showing me Punnett squares, then you're not really doing the work. So the first one says, two heterozygous Oompas, oh my God, I can't even say this word anymore today, are crossed. What proportion of the offspring will have orange faces? So heterozygous means that it has one big letter and one little letter, right? This is heterozygous. So you're going to cross two heterozygous Oompas, big G, little g, big G, little g. Now you fill in your Punnett, big G, big G, big G, little g, big G, little g, little g, little g. So now looking at this Punnett square, what proportion of the offspring will have orange faces? So what is 1 out of 4? What percent is that? 25%. Or you could have said 1/4. Either one would be correct. Okay? So that's an example. All of these should have been similar to that problem, where you were working them out, doing the Punnett square, solving what are the proportions, okay? Let's look at an incomplete dominance one. Now, incomplete and codominance, they're very similar. The only difference is that in incomplete dominance, you're using one letter, big and small. In codominance, you're using two letters. Okay, so like R and W. So Oompas have red hair can have red, blue, or purple hair. The allele that controls this trait is incompletely dominant. So that right there means you'll be using the same letter, okay? Where purple hair is caused by the heterozygous condition. So we know purple then, heterozygous means one big and one little. So this one will be big B, little b. Red hair would be what then? Little b, and blue would be big B. Good job, big B. So usually you see different letters in codominance, but I'll be honest with you, either way that you work this, if you did two different letters or if you did it this way, you'll still get the same answers in the same proportion. So it's really okay either way you do it. So Orville Oompa has purple hair. So what is Orville Oompa? What's purple? Big B, little b, right? Purple, it's right here. And is married to Opal Oompa, who brags that she has the bluest hair of all. So she must be big B, big B. How many of Opal's children will be able to brag about their blue hair as well? So we do our cross. Right, there we go. What percentage of these kids will have blue hair. Very good. 50% are blue. So 50%. And how many will take after their father? 50% purple. Purple. Okay, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Right? I can't spell purple this morning. Don't judge me. All right. Flip this over. There were a lot more problems like this. It's the same kind of concept. If you use two different letters or you use the heterozygous as the combined trait, then that's fine too. Let's see. Let's look at 11, just as another sample one for you. Olivia Oompa is married to Odo Oompa. Both of them have purple hair. Purple hair, we said, was big B, little b. Big B, little b, right? They're both heterozygous. They have 100 children. Way too many, if you ask me. What is the hair color of their children and in what proportion? So now we fill out our Punnett square, right? Big B, big B. This one would be this one. All right, so what is the percentage of kids with red hair? 25. Out of their 100 kids, more than likely 25 of them, roughly, would have red hair. How many would have blue hair?
25.
25, very good.
50.
And 50% purple, very good. So hopefully this isn't too difficult. You guys are getting used to this concept. The only one that was quite a bit more difficult that we didn't explicitly, I didn't directly give you the directions for this. There is a question like this on the test, but it's already set up for you. So you're just filling in the blanks. So you won't be given one this difficult. A homozygous gray-faced, blue-haired Oompa. Homozygous gray-faced, we said, was big G, big G. And blue-haired has to be big B, big B. Okay, which is what it says right here. Marries an orange face, little g, with red hair. So in this case, you could have said little b, or you could put an R. Remember what I was saying? Like when you talk to codominance, incomplete dominance, you can kind of use either version of this, and it's still going to give you the correct answer. What I wanted you to do was set up a dihybrid cross. Dihybrid, di means how many characteristics? 2. Okay, so we're looking at both face and hair color. That's why there's 2 different things going on. So in order to set up a dihybrid cross, you essentially use the FOIL method to figure out what are the gametes that the parents could give off. So the dad could pass on a big G and a big B, or this big G could be paired with this big B, or this G could be paired with that B, or this G could be paired with that B. So those would be all the different meiosis possibilities. Does that kind of make sense? Nod your head, yes, that's making sense-ish. Okay, cool. Same thing for mom, right? Little g, big R, little g with that big R, little g with that R, little g with this big R. Now, what can we do? Make the biggest Punnett square ever. This isn't the biggest one, but you guys know what to do now. This one would be big G, little g, R, B, and so on and so forth. Then you can figure out what your proportions are, etc. This is 16 boxes, so it says out of 16 children, how many of them, how many of each type would you expect? Then you could say 1/4 will be this, or whatever. Does that make sense to you guys? Sort of, kind of. If I gave you all of this part, would you be able to fill in like a blank square? Then you'll be good to go. All right? So that is the homework. You can go ahead and put that. Actually, that goes on page 13 of your Ian. 13, some of you it might be 14, but it should be pretty close to page 13 of your Ian. All right, and then we'll move on to today's lecture notes.